Hi there, I'm Edna, and this is
I'm Judith.
Today we're super excited to chat about the prologue to Grammar of the Castilian Language. As we both find this topic really fascinating because it plays a huge role in shaping some of the most widely spoken languages, such as Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and even Romanian. We can't wait to dive into this and explore similar topics in our podcast, so make sure you stick with us.
The Castilian language has been part of our lives since it was the companion of the empire. It was a key element of hierarchy until the Jews began to disintegrate, which then came in consequence with the loss of the language.
Latin is often regarded as popular due to its profound influence on Western civilizations and its foundational role in the development of numerous languages, particularly the Romance languages, such as the ones I previously mentioned. This classical language served as a lingua franca of the Roman Empire, facilitating communication across diverse cultures and regions.
As she stated, the languages that she mentioned were born from the Castilian. A study was made to show the evolution of Latin and its spread through this graph. We concluded that each of these gray lines represent a geographical setting in which an origin of Castilian was present. As Castilian is descendant of Latin, the new language surrounds its grammar, diction, and vocabulary. The cultural context of Castilian led to Latin, which transformed into Spanish, and nowadays is becoming a new variety and has been moving around the globe.
In addition, recent studies and global statistics show that as of January 31st, 2025, this image illustrates the percentage distribution of countries where Spanish is spoken or used, highlighting the influence of the Castilian dialect within these regions. The data emphasizes how widespread the language has become globally, with specific figures indicating the extent of linguistic prevalence in each country.
The Castilian language grew based on people's skills, work effort, and attentiveness to their environment. Language itself gave humans the ability to be separate from animals and be seen as a distinct persona. The impact of the language on the empire was standardized as they controlled the population and the religious conquest. Not only that, but it was also the key establishment for the empire. It dominated its rules and norms. Language conquest was seen as a cultural conquest, which related to the military conquest and initiated the start of civilization.
Its vocabulary, grammar, and syntax have shaped not only the structure of these Romance languages, but also contributed significantly to the lexicon of English and many other languages. Furthermore, Latin's impact extended beyond linguistics to areas such as law, medicine, and the sciences, where many terms and expressions remain in use today, reflecting its enduring legacy and importance in both historical and modern contexts.
Alterations including comparing modern days to 500 years ago. For example, if things were done similarly on the language side, things may or may not follow, such as the memory of the language will perish or wander. We can relate this past event to a modern event, as people who are not bilingual either have advantages or disadvantages. A disadvantage could be that immigrants that reside in the United States have to follow things in the language side. After their second language comes out, eyes can be called and things will not follow. Language and immigration has had a big impact in defining the success if people perish or wander in the nation. An advantage can be being paid more in a job for being bilingual and have the ability to translate more languages for any doctor or any profession.
The decline of the Roman Empire mirrored the gradual erosion of the Latin language, both losing their former glory and influence as time progressed. After the kingdoms and republics of Greece began to unravel and the Romans became masters, both participate Greek language and the Latin language to gain force. Latin became famous 500 years later. Language served as a powerful instrument of spiritual conquest, intricately weaving together cultural narratives and belief systems that transcended geographical boundaries. It was not merely a means of communication, but a tool that shaped identities and fostered connection among diverse communities. Through sacred texts, oral traditions, and liturgical practices, language facilitated the dissemination of spiritual teachings and philosophies, allowing for the transformation of individual lives and other societies. This linguistic interplay played a crucial role in the promotion and establishment of religious ideologies, fundamentally altering the, the spiritual landscape of civilizations throughout history. And I like to mention that from my perspective, my personal opinion is shaped by the impact this Castilian language has had on me, such as how it's the foundation for the Spanish language I grew up speaking and includes even some essential words that are only understandable in Spanish. I believe that this has influenced me not only socially by being the foundation of my primary language, but also because of the beautiful culture and profound meaning behind it.
In addition to what she said, I agree with the impact of the Castilian language because my grandfather came from Spain and his roots fell into the rest of the family tree, which then led to me. The Spanish he taught in my family was based on Castilian, but was mainly focused on Mexican Spanish since my grandmother continued that legacy. My grandfather just decided to follow her Mexican Spanish since it was easier for everybody to understand. My language itself varies as words combine, but they each have their own aspect. We find it crazy to see how a language from many years ago has transformed into something that moves the world and its individuals. Overall, this topic taught us that language isn't just about speaking, but also about revolutionizing cultural, political, and spiritual societies. We now see language as a tool that shapes identity, ensures stability, and serves as a vehicle for knowledge and recognition. We want to reference the reading from D2L titled The Prologue to Grammar of the Castilian Language, and for the studies or graph reference, the Newcastle University Castilian Spanish article.
In addition, the conclusion was from a compilation of numerous small articles, blog posts, and reputable references such as Britannica, which collectively provided a comprehensive and detailed foundation for the findings. This was a source from the internet as well as what we learned from our class. And we like to mention how we're very honored to get the opportunity to speak about this topic, which we both believe is such a important topic to discuss about, as it falls behind many years ago, where we can see how important it is as a topic, since to this day it has been used um, in modern languages.
It has been impacting the past, present, and the future. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Bye.